we're joined once again by Lucas Stensland. He's the general contractor and owner of H1 Construction. How are you, bro?
Good, good. Good
Welcome
to see
back
you.
to the show.
Appreciate it.
This week, I wanted to talk about navigating permits and avoiding regrets in home building. So we did actually have a question from a viewer.
Okay.
This is coming from Jonathan in Aya, and he recently inherited a family home that has some unpermitted additions onto the original home. So that's his question. How do you handle permits if the property has existing unpermitted structures?
It's a really good question, and it's very common in Hawaii, right? So, and they go back years and years and years. So it's a difficult process, and it's always evolving, especially when it comes down to the city and county and the DPP. But if you're looking at the meat and potatoes of it, the person that's coming in that is going to do a typical project has to sign off on that work that's been completed, right?
Okay.
So the bigger problem really lies in the electrical and plumbing, because inspectors are going to want to see how it was ran, where it was ran. So somebody needs to account for those. Now, if they want you to open up the walls to check it out, they're going to make sure that you do that. To see make sure it's up to code and everybody is safe. It's not necessarily that anybody did anything wrong at some point, because the city and county just wants to tax you for it, and they want to make sure that the codes you adhere to make sure you're safe.
Got it. All right, Jonathan, there you got your answer right there. I wanted to ask you, what is the most common regret you hear from homeowners once their project is complete?
I think the biggest thing that I've really ran into is people just too much of it in a hurry. Trying to save money, and in the end, really, it comes down to when they're rushing so fast, they end up spending more time and more money in the end.
Well, that's one thing I like about H1 Construction is that you're very transparent throughout the whole process and making sure that your clients are staying within budget and they understand what's happening as you move through that process. Now, many homeowners worry about the unexpected changes that might pop up. We watch like HGTV, always get that. Okay, I know we didn't expect to have this bee's nest or whatever is in the attic, and then we got to clear this out. So how does H1 Construction make sure that clients have that clarity up front so there aren't any of those surprises down the line?
Well, for one, the answer's kind of in the question. It's just about being transparent. We keep everybody on from the beginning, the architect, the structural engineer, a designer if one's involved. We keep the homeowner, we meet with them every 2 weeks.
Wow.
On site and walk through the process. One of the bigger things, like we were talking about, is the scope modifications, and those are normally homeowner driven, and they're homeowner driven because typical GCs aren't going to walk them through every 2 weeks and walk them and show them. So I can tell you, moving a wall that's just freshly framed from point A to point B with no electrical, no plumbing, no drywall, no insulation in it is 10 times easier to move it when it's just freshly framed, right? So we're going to catch those things, and most clients are not visually or they're more visual than they are when they see a set of blueprints, right? I look at them all day, every day. I can tell what a space is going to look like. I can tell you what a 10 by 10 room looks like. I don't expect a client to know that. So sometimes when they get to the site, it's like, oh, this closet ended up a lot smaller than I anticipated. We're catching it. Now it's a $300 change versus a $3,000 change, and even that $300, we're just going to do it. Because it just keeps us flowing. Trust me, when a contractor is going through your process, the last thing they want to do is slow down the process with scope modifications. It's the worst for everybody involved. So we try and manage all that upfront.
Well, I feel so good that I asked you all of these questions. That's why you're our expert.
Good questions too.
Thank you so much, Lucas, for joining us. H1 Construction, this is the man right here. Thank you.
You got it. Aloha.